6-2 Big Red already with a playoff spot wrapped up thanks to a 6-game win streak, but Big Red could still earn a top 4 spot in the region, which would mean a first-round bye next week. Park on the move first. Jay Bordas to Preston Hetherington. A big 54-yard pickup here on the Patriots' opening drive sets them up nicely, and this would lead to the first score of the night. Reigning Big 22 Player of the Year, Brennan Black with a short touchdown run. Park in front, 7-0. First Big Red possession. They're driving, but it's 4th down. Santino, Haney to the air. Off the play action. Finds Zaire Scurry. Wide open. Touchdown, 7-all after a quarter. Second quarter, James Turner would cap a 13-play, 81-yard drive. Big Red takes the lead at 14-7. To the air once again goes Big Red. It's Haney. Jerry Hinton holds onto the football. Loses the helmet. That's a touchdown, 21-7. Late in the half, Cole Bowers knocks through a 35-yard field goal. It was 24-7 at the half. Second half, Haney, Scurry, connect again. Touchdown, 31-7 after 3. Now Big Red would wrap the game up with a 21-play, 99-yard drive. Carson Simmons with a QB sneak to cap off the scoring. Big Red has won 7 in a row, 38-7. The final from Harding Stadium. Now to a rivalry with playoff meaning for both teams. Indian Creek 5th, they're 6th in Division 4 Region 15. Edison 7th in Division 5 Region 17. Both looking to maybe lock up a home game or even better yet a bye. First half, each team finds the end zone once. That was Brett Hellier for Edison. Then Bruce Mazer, touchdown, Creek 7-7 at the half. Third quarter, how about some defense? Mason Salazar applying the pressure in the end zone, forces the throw. It's intentional grounding, and that's a safety. 9-7, Creek takes the lead. Edison defense would come up big on 4th down. Connor Watson short of the sticks with the tackle. Wildcats eventually turn this into points. Nolan hot. Andrew Kirkman open. Touchdown, 13-9 Edison to go for 2. And it's hot to Kirkman again. 15-9 Edison to the 4th. Ian Starkey downfield to Jaden Christian. Big pickup. 4th and goal from the 1. Starkey will keep. We're tied up with about 6 minutes to play. This ends up going to overtime, tied at 15. Creek's second consecutive overtime game. 4th down for Edison. It's incomplete. Creek now 2nd down from the 20. Starkey lost it up for Mazer, and he is in. A walk-off winner, another classic for the 2nd straight year between the Cats and the Redskins. Indian Creek celebrates an overtime victory, 21-15 over the Edison Wildcats. Bill, let's go back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Also in Division 5, Region 17, St. Clairsville, off of their win over Indian Creek at Cambridge tonight. Fumbles on the ground. First play of the game. Cale Fisher causes the fumble, picked up Nico Jacobs, 7-0 St. C. Red Devils with the ball, and how about this run? Fisher, he takes it in from 17 yards out, 14-0 St. Clairsville. Later, ball on the 4. The scramble. McLean, scrambling, running, scramble, touchdown into the end zone. Great run, 21-0. Second quarter, St. C with a handoff. Elijah Hill cuts it inside, finds the goal line. He's in for the touchdown, 31-0 at that point. That's at the half. We go to the final score on this one, and it was 52-0. St. Clairsville with the victory. Now we turn our attention now to a big rivalry that affects the playoff chase in Division 5, Region 19 in Ohio. News 9's Tanner Mounts is live inside the Belmont Content Center with those highlights. Tanner, take it away.
Thanks, Bill. Barnesville currently sits in 5th place of Region 19, having already clinched a playoff spot. Tonight, they traveled to Union Local, who sits in 7th place of the same region. A win, and they're in. A loss puts them on the bubble. Let's check out the battle for the milk bucket in Morristown.
Senior night at Union Local, but the Shamrocks would silence the crowd early. It's Trey Tolliver on the first offensive play for Barnesville, breaking a tackle and going 69 yards, showing off the speed. He puts the Shamrocks up 7-0, and then Barnesville would be threatening again, but they would get stopped on 4th and goal. Cole Francis unable to get in on the quarterback keeper. On the next drive, Tolliver says he'll do it himself. He scores from a couple yards out. puts the Rocks up 14-0. And then again before half, it's Tolliver. 67 yards this time. He had 10 carries for over 160 yards and 3 touchdowns at the break. Barnesville up 20-0. And then after halftime, UL is looking for a big comeback, but their pass would be picked off by Francis, making plays on the defensive side of the football to put this game away. Barnesville rolls and recaptures the Milk Bucket Trophy.
The Shamrocks shut out Union Local 34-0. Barnesville finishes the season 8-2 heading into the playoffs. The Jets fall to 7-3 and will now await their playoff fate. Bill, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Tanner, thank you very much. More important matchups in the playoff picture still to come, including action in West Virginia. Up next, more rivalries, including Bellaire hosting Martins Ferry, along with Caldwell and Shenandoah in the Noble County Super Bowl. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back to Sports Friday, everybody. We roll on with the rivalries, including a couple of more with playoff implications. We check in now with our Jack Hillgrove, live in Wheeling, the Content Center, with more on those highlights. Jack, take it away.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, this rivalry, very familiar with one another. Bellaire and Martins Ferry. The series in favor of the Big Reds all time, 59-55 with 7 ties. However, last year, Martins Ferry a winner in this one at home. Purple Riders trying to bring the Sparky Trophy back to Martins Ferry. Bellaire trying to get it back. Let's check out those highlights. The 5th most played rivalry in the history of Ohio high school football. The battle for Sparky. Martins Ferry up 3-0 when Bellaire goes to the air. Michael Dipple on 4th down to Cole Gonglick. 6-3 Big Reds halfway through the second quarter. Later on, though, Martins Ferry would answer Joaquin Cox, fighting his way into the end zone from 5 yards out. 3:22 to go in the second. It's 10-6 Purple Riders. Later on in the second quarter, Colby Kropka rolls and then finds Gavin Mulvey. It's 18-6 visitors at the half. Third quarter, defense. Christian Shuttler, a one-handed interception, sets up a Colby Kropka rushing score. And then you go to the air to find Maurice Barnett, 17 yards, 31-6 Purple Riders with 1:52 left in the third. But here come the Big Reds back on the scoreboard yet again. Dipple on the screen pass to Quentin Scott, who would break a couple of tackles, and he would go 54 yards to the house, 31-12 Big Reds, 7 seconds left in the third quarter. But on the ensuing kickoff, the Purple Riders would strike, and in a big way, the freshman, Ja'Cory Cox, 76 yards to the house, 38-12 at the end of 3. A kiss from Big Brother as Sparky goes back to Martins Ferry. 40-12, the final score. The Martins Ferry Purple Riders finished the regular season 7-3. Also taking place tonight in Division 6, Region 23 with playoff implications. It's Caldwell and Shenandoah, the Noble County Super Bowl. Caldwell 19, Shenandoah 14. We'll have those highlights for you coming up at 11:10 live on WTOV9. Live here inside the Wheeling Content Center, my name is Jack Hillgrove. Bill, let's go back to you.
Mr. Hillgrove, thank you very much. In Division 6, Region 23, Toronto already finishing the regular season at Brownsville, PA. Midway through the first, Toronto red zone. Michael Henry rolls to the right. He jumps into the end zone. Brody Close comes up, or Close, I should say, comes up with the touchdown. PAT's good 14-0. Then later, how about this one? The Red Knights, Henry, the throw to Colt Joyson. 35 yards, 21-0 Toronto. Just about a minute and a half later, Drake Boucher. Well, first the interception here, and this is going to go the distance. Touchdown on the return. Jackson Gibson comes up with the interception, weaves his way into the end zone, 35-0. We go to the scoreboard to take a look at your final in this one. It is 54-22, Toronto with the victory. Now it's time to unveil the nominees for the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 495 Play of the Night. You have 3 choices to vote on. Play number 1, Oak Glen offense, Maddox Bowen. How about this? He's going to put it in the bucket, and who's going to come up with the catch? Cameron Carter. One-handed grab in the corner of the end zone. Unbelievable. Falls into the end zone, 33-yard touchdown score. Play number 2. Remember, vote early in offense. Indian Creek in overtime. Ian Starkey feels the pressure. Bruce Major. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. That is your game winner. Indian Creek finishes the regular season 9-1. Play number 3. Barnesville on offense. And how about this? Right off the bat. Trey Tolliver. Tolliver. Gone. Touchdown, 71 yards. Remember, log on to our website, WTOV9.com, and vote for play 1, play 2, or play 3. We need to take a time out. Back with more on this edition of Sports Friday right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports Friday. I'm Bill Phillips. Trio of West Virginia matchups with playoff implications featured now, including Wheeling Central's homecoming matchup. Rob Metzger rejoins. Mr. Metzger rejoins us with all the highlights. Rob, take it away.
Hello, Bill. Maroon Knights rated second in the West Virginia Class A playoff race after last Thursday's win against Ferry. Tonight, their regular season finale on this 8-game schedule against Brashear out of Pittsburgh. Homecoming, Aaron Maxwell, your 2025 homecoming queen. First quarter, Cade Coronis punches it in from 3 yards out. Wheeling Central leads 7-0. Another drive capped off by another Coronis touchdown, 14-0. Second quarter, Nico Cusick to the air. Pass hauled in by Joey Hall. And then Coronis takes it in, a couple yards out, 21-6. And then Coronis, once again, he had 4 scores offensively. And how about some defense for Cade Coronis, our reigning player of the week? Pick 6, 36 yards for his 5th touchdown of the night. And good night for the Maroon Knights on homecoming, defeating Brashear 48-20. Cameron 7th in Class A following last week's setback at Monroe Central. Dragons were at Bridgeport tonight. The Dogs still an outside shot at the postseason, but they got to win. Cameron strikes first. Marshall Holland running it in. 8-0 Dragons at the first. Holland once again in an 8-6 game, now making it a 16-6 Dragons advantage. And then the toss to Talon Brown. And Brown from the other side of midfield is off to the races. 24-6, Cameron in front. Brown strikes again, this time on defense. To the air. Touchdown, Talon Brown. Pick 6. 32-6 Dragons. Holland would score again. It was 38-6 at the half. And your final score, 53-6. Cameron, a winner over Bridgeport. In a bit, we'll have highlights of Glen and East Liverpool. Bill, back to you.
Rob, thank you very much. Still to come here on the WVU Medicine Weirton Medical Center Sports Friday. More rivalries, including Buckeye Local hosting Harrison Central and Shadyside visiting Monroe Central. It's all coming up on Sports Friday. Welcome back, everybody. Although eliminated from playoff contention, bragging rights on the line in more rivalry matchups as Harrison Central visited Buckeye Local, a battle for the Vales Trophy. First quarter, Huskies in the red zone. Brady Heyer goes around the outside. Touchdown, 7-0 Harrison Central. Second quarter, Huskies shotgun now. Kane Dunkel on the slant hauls it in on the touchdown reception. And later in the corner, Heyer looking for Lance Smith and finding the person I just named, Lance Smith. He was looking for him, we found him. Touchdown, 29 yards, 20-0. Buckeye local not down. Grant Dombrowski to Daniel Divjak. Goes up, pulls it in, 21-7. The Huskies answer. Back and forth battle. Harrison Central comes up with a touchdown. Olin Wade with that touchdown. Then later in the ball game, more from the Huskies, the insurance. Another Wade touchdown. We go to the scoreboard to take a look at it. Your final, 41-14. Harrison Central comes with the victory. Now, despite winning 3 of their last 4 and 5, Monroe Central eliminated from the playoff contention against Shadyside. First quarter, Krupa Howell fakes, handoff, throws deep. Max Demchak, 7-0 Seminoles. Later in the first, A.J. Rudder. Little veer. A.J. Rudder takes it from 7 yards out. 14-0 Monroe Central. That means Wyatt Cohen is hitting all of his extra points. Then Rudder, he gets it again. 21-0 after the extra point. How about some more from Rudder? My man, the Colonel, Big Zach here in the studio says, I want to see some more Rudder. There he goes. 28-0 Monroe Central. How about a little flea flicker? How about a little trickeration from the Seminoles in Monroe Central? A little flea flicker. Then Shaq, and he throws it deep, back in the end zone. Touchdown, 35-0 on the trick play. We go to the scoreboard and take a look at it. Your final, Monroe Central finishes strong, 54-0 over Shadyside. And the last battle of the bridge in the foreseeable future, apparently, according to some reports, Class AA number 13, Glen hosting East Liverpool Potters. Martisdale, 8-0 after the 2-point conversion. So here come the Bear. Swear to the Bear. Jacob Everett, the freshman, the young cub, so to speak, going in for the touchdown. It's 8-6. Then how about the second quarter? He says, I want some more. Give it to him. Up the middle, breaks. Oh, look, big man. Puts his foot in the ground, makes a turn. He's into the end zone, touchdown. 14-8 Bears. Potters even it up in the third. Meshach Harris, 14-14, down the sideline and in for the score. Glen would gain the lead. Caden Spencer. Sweet feet. Sweet feet. Nice. Then Maddox Bone. How about this? Cameron Carter. This is one of our plays of the night finals. One-handed grab from Cameron Carter. The Colonel says, all right, I salute you. We go to the scoreboard to take a look at it. The final. 34-22. Glen with the victory. We wrap up this edition of Sports Friday after this timeout. Everybody back with more right after this. Welcome back to Sports Friday, everybody. Some games coming up on Saturday. Let's talk about them. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock in the evening, Steubenville Catholic Central wraps up its regular season slate when it hosts Cleveland East Tech at Harding Stadium. Crusaders entered this week ranked 5th in Division 7, Region 27, and a win should give Catholic Central a home game in the first round. Scores to pass along. Dover and New Philadelphia, 35-28 in a big rivalry matchup. John Marshall falls to Fairfield Union, 50-14. Brook falls to Elkins, 31-7. Weir. Albert Gallatin of PA comes up winner, 34-6. River and Frontier. Frontier comes away with the victory, 32-21. Canot Valley, a big winner, 66 points on the board over Matthews. They finished with 35. Canot Valley winner. Lindsley, a winner, 31-14 over Parkersburg South. Lakeview falls to Beaver Local. Beaver Local, a big winner, 42-20. Good night, everybody.